There's probably possibly drugs involved. That's what I hear. I mean, there's possibly drugs. I don't know how you can go from being so bad where you can't even get out a sentence. I mean, you saw some of those debates with the large number of people on the stage. He was, I used to say, how is it possible that he can even go forward?
That was Donald Trump earlier today with Judge Jeanine Pirro on Fox News accusing Joe Biden of using PEDs, basically saying that Joe Biden is using stimulants or some other sort of thing to make him sound better in debates, make him sound better in his discussions, when normally he's Sleepy Joe. And Trump can't believe it, and he says the only rational explanation is he's using a substance to get over the hump, and we need to test him to get what that substance is and how it's helping him. And this is a baseless, absurd claim. And I'm saying that as someone who has made videos pointing out the cognitive decline and dementia of both Biden and Trump. I don't hide away from these issues, and I'm not just trying to protect Joe Biden. I've been very critical of Joe Biden. But the fact is, people who are going through what Biden and Trump are going through, which is decline mentally and physically, it's not the same every day. People have good days. People have bad days. Sometimes people have good weeks and bad weeks, good months and bad months. It's not linear. And it's not necessarily the case that you're going to have an entirely gradual, consistent decline. Sometimes declines are more rapid or less rapid. And it's perfectly reasonable that Biden could have days where he sounds relatively like his old self, and then others where he sounds like a man that doesn't know where he is or what he's talking about. And you can say the same thing about Donald Trump. Again, my views are not out of the norm. A majority of Americans think both Biden and Trump are mentally unfit for office. But Trump's the only one throwing around baseless claims about this right now. He's the only one. He's the only one making this sort of claim that Biden is using some sort of substance. And we also have to think critically here. If Biden was, why wouldn't he be doing it more often? He notes, for instance, that he sounded a lot better in his last debate with Bernie. Those one-on-one debates he did right before he really started to clinch the primary, when it was just down to Bernie and Biden. And what you saw is a slightly sharper Biden. But after those debates, he still had lots of instances of some of his biggest, most notable gaffes, like from his basement, where he would just basically spout off in random directions, would often linger on screen, and his wife would have to come and pull him off the screen. That was after he supposedly started using these PEDs. So it doesn't track. If Biden was using these, he would have started earlier, and he wouldn't have had such gaffes throughout the entire primary and since, including in recent, weeks in some cases. It just wouldn't have happened. So I don't buy this. And if anything, what a lot of people are pointing out is this is 100% desperation and projection, because I don't think this particular slight against Biden is going to stick. A lot of people don't like Joe Biden, and there's a lot of reasons for that, but I don't think somebody that uses illegal substances is really something that's going to stick to somebody like Joe Biden. I don't think Joe Biden critics really think that's his vice or his weakness or his scandal. But it's also 100% projection, because a lot of people have talked about how Donald Trump may use things like Adderall, in a less than legal way to basically perk himself up, to stimulate himself up, to get him over the hump when it's Sleepy Donald. And again, I'm not making those accusations. I'm not. I haven't made those accusations on the channel. There's no legal, factual basis to those claims necessarily, so I'm not going to do it. But Joe Biden isn't going on MSNBC and saying that Donald Trump is using something to get through an interview or a debate. And neither should Trump say that about Biden.